What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So the last time we were here, we were working on the FD, getting this thing straightened out, ready for primer. We worked on the rear bumper, sanded the whole car, got it down to where I like. We sanded the mirrors, the headlight covers, and we just got these rear mud guards in. They look pretty sweet, so those are going to be going on the project too. So this car is actually ready for direct to metal primer. I was going to do it the other weekend, but I noticed when I was sanding this car, I had a lot of condensation coming out of the airline. I didn't realize how much fluid comes out of the lines until I was working on this car for about 2 hours. So if you look into this filter that I ended up putting in, you can see all this condensation in here that was catching some of it, but it still was making its way through the little connector to my DA. So that's a problem when you're painting cars. You want to make sure you have clean, dry air lines. I'm putting together a nice system with some filters and everything like that. So I have a 60-gallon compressor, professional grade, but I want that to work as best as possible and have the clean air as possible because, like I said, this is going to be my first paint job. I know I'm going to make some mistakes, but I don't want any mistakes coming off of something that I could have fixed by putting a nice air system in, clean air drying system in. So anyway, today's video, what we're doing, the main reason I started this actual YouTube channel, because of my son, of course, because he's the one that said, Dad, you should start one since you're working on all these cars. But the main reason and the main car was this 1990 Eagle Talon. This is my baby right here. So little history on this car. I bought it over 15 years ago with a blown motor. I ended up finding a long block, which the guy told me it was fully built. Good for about 800 horsepower. Paid the guy. Didn't want to mess around and swap it in myself just in case because of all that money he said that he put into that long block. I found RRT in Connecticut. That's when he was in Canton, Connecticut, Raif. And I talked to him on the phone. He said you should be a little hesitant from buying blocks like that unless they had paperwork. But the guy had Mustangs and he had Camaros, race cars. So I thought the guy was legit. He ended up swapping the motor in, and the first time he turned it on, he said the motor is just completely shot. So he ended up building this motor, the stock motor that was in this car for me. So anyway, I've been missing the last couple years of race season due to the facts, you know, being a dad, full-time dad, and working full-time in other projects. It's kind of hard to put all my attention into this car. This car is the reason why I started the channel, and I wanted to give it the love that it deserves. So I want to have Raif look everything over, give it the attention that it needs, and do a little couple tricks to it. And so I can have this in the next 2 weeks so I can race this, because at Island Drag, Friday nights are going to be opening up soon. And I just want to make sure I'm able to get this car down the track finally after the last 3 years that I've been talking to you guys. So anybody that's been following me from the beginning, know this is the car that I've been trying to get down the track, but always there's something always coming up. So basically I'm going to be loading this on a trailer, bringing it up to Raif, and he's going to do his little magic tricks, get this car back and get this car to the track ASAP early in the spring. I just want to make sure I just get a couple hits so I can see where the car stands, and if I have to do some fine tuning, so by the time at the end of the summer, when it's time for my goals to get into that 9-second time slip, I can turn up the boost and rip it. So anyway, we're going to be loading this car on the trailer, bringing it up to Connecticut, and hopefully I get it back in the next couple weeks. Now, if you haven't been with me from the beginning, my goal was to have a street-driven 9-second full interior street car. And you can see how this has all its full stock interior, seatbelts, everything. And it still has these 90s cushion tri-color seats, which I love. I had this type of style in my Turbo LeBaron, where I used to just rip people up. And you know, there's a few guys that watch my videos. They knew who they are. You know, they had their pumped up Hondas. And I had my 4-door grandma car, because it was my grandmother's car, but it was turbo. It was a Turbo LeBaron. And I was just ripping dudes, man, in high school. So anyway, yeah, you know who you are. So anyway, we're going to get this on the trailer, and we're going to get this up to Raif, and I'll see you in a little bit.
moments later.
All right, so the car is done. It only took him a few days. It's a lot quicker than I expected. So I'm picking up the car. I'm just gassing up the truck right now to head up to Connecticut, and I'll see you when I get up there. Let me just tell everybody that's new to the channel what this build is. So I'm running a 6466 turbo, 2150 FIC injectors. This is tuned on E85. I run E85 all the time because this is not like something I'm going to be just driving daily, but it is on pump E85. When I first took this car down the track, I was having a problem getting out of the hole. It was wheel hopping, and I owned a few CRXs back in the day, turbo CRXs, all motor, and it was wheel hopping just like a Honda. And I was like, what the hell's going on? So anyway, I got one really good pass. It wheel hopped, but I still I pelted it out of the hole, and I mid-track, that's when it started hitting bwop, bwop, bwop. So I ended up hitting 13.0 at 140 miles per hour. So I didn't know what was going on. My friends, they weren't paying attention to see if just my front wheels were spinning. I brought the car back up the Raif to make sure nothing broke in the transmission, and he said, dude, your rear is broken. So I had broken the rear, didn't realize I had broke the rear. I wasn't thinking about it, and that was the stock 3-bolt rear. So I ended up having a 4-bolt rear put in. He welded the center diff in this transmission. The transmission is actually stock, but the center diff is welded. I didn't want to put a whole lot of money at the time into it because I just wanted to get the car running, but I wanted to be able to just hold a little bit of the power that was going to be, you know, coming out of this thing. So I welded the center diff and all of its histories. So right now we're running low boost. I'm going to just try to hit the track and take this thing down the track without breaking anything. So you can see I got a Magnus intake manifold piping. This is all new intercooler piping with the new V-band welded to my S90 throttle body, because I was having boost leaks from all the boost that I was running, was popping these things off. And yeah, so they ended up doing a new intercooler piping for me with the new upper intercooler piping with the V-band that goes down to the intercooler. They ended up making it so it can go around this Mishimoto radiator. I wanted to keep it as cool as possible. And they also ended up welding a 90-degree elbow on this 6466 because it was going straight down, and when it went straight down I had one of these rubber couplings and it was crunched. It was just really bad. So I wanted him to actually put the professional touch on it. That's why I brought it up there. And he did the lower intercooler pipe, a new intercooler pipe, so it can go cleanly around this radiator. So I'm happy with the art that they did. I'm eventually gonna, not right now, I'm eventually gonna have him take everything apart, because I'm gonna have everything powder coated. I want everything powder coated black so it can match, even the turbo, hot side and cold side. I want everything to be nice and black. Last video on the car, I did install my BC coilovers, so they're in here. So I'm hoping to get this car to the track on one of the Friday nights, because Saturday and Sunday is a little tough because of track and baseball. And yeah, so right now I'm gonna take this bad boy for a spin.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, have me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Creep outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I've been like a Mack truck. Country heart, I'm a cop a foreign.